Welcome to our channel, the fastest and most complete update of shocking, surprising and unforgettable details from the movie Beyond the Gates. Join us to discover the dark secrets, heartbreaking tragedies and terrifying twists that await you ahead. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel so you don't miss any breathtaking developments from this hot movie. On a seemingly normal day like any other, when Vernon was immersed in work worries, the phone suddenly rang, breaking the peaceful atmosphere. He had no idea that, just a few seconds later, his whole life would be turned upside down. On the other end of the line was a policeman with a solemn and heavy voice, announcing that Anita had been in a serious car accident in the suburbs of Chicago. It felt like time stopped, his ears were ringing, everything around him became blurry. The bad news was like a knife piercing straight into Vernon's heart, making him numb for a few seconds, before he panicked and rushed out of the house. Got into his car and drove like crazy towards the mentioned hospital. Anita's face appeared in his mind, the sweet moments they had together, every smile, every loving gaze now seemed to be fading into ashes in his memory. During the long journey, Vernon kept praying, despite his mind constantly screaming about the worst possibility. When he arrived at the hospital, he was held in the waiting room, not allowed to go inside, while the medical staff around him whispered to each other with pitying eyes. Then a middle-aged doctor walked out, his eyes were red and his gentle but decisive shake of his head was like a death sentence to Vernon. Anita did not survive. She had died at the scene. All attempts to save her were unsuccessful. The news nearly made Vernon collapse. He staggered towards the morgue, where Anita's body was covered under a white sheet. In that moment, he gently pulled the sheet and faced the cruel reality. Her face, once radiant and full of life, was now just a cold, lifeless form. Vernon's heart felt like it was shattered into hundreds of pieces, no longer able to be put back together. Returning from the morgue, Vernon was almost no longer himself. He sat for hours in the dark room, not speaking, not eating, not sleeping. Memories of Anita rushed back like waves crashing against the wall, drowning him in guilt and helplessness. Every corner of the house bore traces of her, from the towel she used to wear, the chair she sat on to read, to the faint scent of perfume still lingering on the pillow. Vernon discovered an old notebook hidden in her desk drawer, containing unread diary entries. The more he read, the more uneasy he felt. The last pages were haunting confessions. Anita felt watched, someone followed her every time she left the house, and she feared something bad would happen. Vernon suddenly felt a chill down his spine. Could it be that the car accident was not entirely a random incident? The pain was gradually replaced by obsession. Vernon began to search for clues, checking traffic cameras, tracing the route Anita had taken. He discovered something terrifying. There was a black SUV following Anita's car closely all the way before the accident. But the car disappeared right after the accident. No one recognized the license plate, no camera recorded the direction the car left. Suspicions piled up. Vernon could not sit still. He began to investigate, despite the police's refusal to reopen the case file because they thought it was just a simple accident. He contacted witnesses near the scene, hired a private detective, and followed every small trace. In the following days, Vernon became a shadow of himself. He no longer cared about work, friends, or relatives, but lived with only one goal: finding the truth behind Anita's death. During the investigation, Vernon discovered that before her death, Anita had been in contact with a woman named Marla, a character who had been involved in a major financial scandal many years ago. Marla had been indirectly denounced by Anita through a magazine article, causing her to lose her career. Vernon suspected that this feud could be the cause of the threats and eventually the suspicious death of his lover. However, when Vernon went to find Marla, he discovered that she had disappeared from the city a few days before Anita's death. The police once again dismissed this connection. But Vernon did not give up. He continued to dig into the past, looking for relationships, people who had been exposed by Anita, and the more he investigated, the more he discovered a network of people with revenge motives. Not only Marla, but also many other characters in the dark, people who Anita had once caused to lose their reputation, money, even their families. Vernon's mind gradually became dominated by obsession, pushing him to the edge between sanity and insanity. Every night, he dreamed of Anita standing by the window, calling his name, her eyes filled with tears, pleading for help. Every morning when he woke up, he rushed to check the security cameras around the house, as if hoping to see the shadow of the mysterious SUV. Then one day, Vernon received an anonymous letter. With no return address, only a piece of paper with a picture of the car that had been following Anita, and a scrawled line, "You're too close to the truth. Stop if you don't want to lose more people." The letter became undeniable evidence that Anita's accident was a deliberate murder, and that the person behind it was still watching his every move. But instead of being afraid, Vernon became more determined. He cut off all contact with the outside world, withdrew all the money in his account, and began to live like a predator, not for himself, but for Anita. He knew he had nothing left to lose, and it was that loss that turned him into an unstoppable man. Behind the dark curtain was a conspiracy that was larger than he had imagined. On a journey filled with pain and blood, Vernon discovered that the accident was just the tip of the iceberg. Anita is not only murdered, but she is the target of a series of silences to cover up a secret that could bring down an entire system. Vernon is no longer just a victim, but has become the greatest threat to those in the shadows. And he knows that if he wants to expose them, he will face a danger greater than death. The story is not simply about the pain of loss, but the journey to uncover hidden dark areas. The journey to the end of the truth of a man who has lost everything, and now only has anger and a promise: Anita must be given justice. She did not die in vain. Vernon will make the evil person pay, whoever he is, no matter how powerful he is. Thank you for following Vernon's painful and dramatic story. Don't forget to subscribe and follow our channel to continue accompanying the next shocking episodes from Beyond the Gates. We have many more secrets that have not been revealed yet. Stay connected so you don't miss any developments.